The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Back to the only hip hop show with the only motherfucking hip hop squad. Okay, I'm so used to camera over here, but the camera's right here. So, welcome back to the only hip hop show with the only hip hop squad. This is LP, man. LaRon Pierce, the lyrical renegade in this piece. Tune in to the motherfucking EP, The Lost Files. You know what? I ain't gonna say the N word.
That's what that was?
Yeah, The Lost Files.
Okay.
The Lost Files of the Lyrical Renegade Project.
Sneak drop.
That shit is cut, bro.
I see.
But anyways, shout out to Sean August and Aisha Nubian from the Only Hip Hop Squad. Talk to me, y'all. What's going on?
I have to take a sip of water, my nigga.
On fire. That's why
I'm on fire right now.
Water.
I'm lit for the Lord, Jesus Christ.
Lit for
Jesus
the Lord.
King. But
hey now.
Fuck me. My name is I don't even matter.
Hey now.
Hey
now. Aisha Nubian.
Finger waves.
How to do, friend?
She brought the finger waves back.
Friend? Yeah.
Shout out to Olu.
Hey.
Shout out to Ben.
Shout out.
LP.
What it do?
P in the back, pressing them buttons. I seen her in the back pressing buttons for a little bit. All I want to say, long story short, is the energy is here.
Yes.
The spirit is in the city.
Yes.
Touch somebody, love somebody.
Yes.
Jesus King is out.
Yes.
Y'all know he my favorite artist. I think
I'm sorry, but the clips killed it in a gospel song.
They was
sorry.
live. Shout out to Malice. Shout
No
out to Pusha
Malice.
T.
No, it's No Malice.
No
Malice.
He's a Christian rapper now. He gave his life to God before,
Kanye,
because he was a dope dealer
out of retirement.
That's
what is
big.
it?
That's epic.
Fuck this.
That's epic.
What's going on with you, Doc?
Hey. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
That's what I'll say.
Happy Sunday.
Everything is going great. Everything is going good.
If it's going good, bow your heads right now in Jesus' name. Aisha about to lead us in prayer.
Oh my goodness. That's a sneak one, but here we go. Lord, thank you for bringing us here together. We pray for an awesome show. We pray that people are fulfilled with laughter, entertainment. We pray that our audience and our guests have a great time, and we pray for hip-hop.
Amen.
Amen.
God bless hip-hop.
God bless
Keep
hip-hop.
it just like that. Hey, every Sunday, 6 to 7,
Yes.
y'all know who it is.
Yes.
Facebook Live, YouTube, Instagram. The pulpit is hot. Fire. We lit in the name of the Lord. All right, what's up?
Okay, so I guess that's us going straight into what it do, right?
Hell yeah.
What it
Unless
do,
you want to talk
friend?
about revolt. Unless you want to talk about
wait, no, hold on.
Okay, hell no. I'm waiting.
So you guys are already kind of on it. I want to talk about Jesus King.
Jesus King.
Now, I haven't even heard it yet. I like to kind of listen to things when the hype dies
Respect.
down, so my opinion isn't tainted in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But I read a lot of mixed reviews, and I wanted to know what you guys thought about it. I know.
LP, you want to talk about Jesus King? Because
Give me a second. Go ahead.
I was at the listening party when he first played it.
I saw that.
Shout out to it being free. Shout out to... Hey, forget all that. Listen.
Oh, my goodness.
Y'all, trust yourself. If you believe that you a child of the king, I've been told you was a God a long time ago. And it took me this long to really, really, really be confident in that. But trust me, if you are a child of the king, really go. Jesus is king. God is his daddy. So God is the real one with the real blessing. So make sure you pray to everybody. And make sure you please listen to Jesus King. Rap bars, there. Production, there.
Everything.
Ty Dolla $ign, there. Fred Hammond, there. Kenny G, there. And he performed today. Clips, there. What else you want to say? Sunday service. Shout out to all my niggas in the choir, all my niggas in the band. Bro, I'm feeling good, bro. Jesus is King out now. Go get that.
Okay, so I'm assuming you loved it.
Hell
Perfect.
yeah.
Safe
Yeah, it
to
was
say
an
love with
amazing
everything.
project.
I love
but check
everything
this
right
out,
now.
though. It was an amazing project, but I wasn't really digging his lyrical
Whoa,
content,
you better
though.
check that.
No, I
charge
checked
what
the
I
whole
charge
album.
because I can't be on Dancing with the Stars. Hey, you better look at
I'm
that.
sorry,
boy.
but clips is just a highlight of the fucking whole project. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you really with that rap bar shit.
Yeah, they have the whole project. I mean, especially No Malice. You know what I mean? It just gave me the chills. You know what I'm saying? His verse was killer.
Okay, well.
We need to open the doors of the church after this.
Those are perfect teasers. I'm definitely going to take a listen. Now, one other thing that was concerning to me was why it wasn't considered a gospel album. I know I saw a lot of reviews about that because it was titled Hip Hop, and I don't think that's what he was on. And I kind of feel like why not respect the fact that he's changing or he's turned a leaf in a sense? Why does it have to be that he's still categorized under a hip hop artist? But that's just my opinion. You guys definitely give yours. I know you went to Sunday service.
Facts. Amen.
Spill the beans. How was it? I wasn't there.
You know what? Sunday service was amazing. The first thing I want to highlight is even with the listening party. At the listening party, I was smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? And it was like gospel.
That's all you
going
do
on.
is smoke weed.
And I was like, ooh, am I supposed to be smoking weed in here? But I wasn't the only one. You feel me? So I felt good. And it was next to old people, young people, new people, people that hate Kanye, people that love Kanye, ministers. We was smoking weed, people was drinking, people was eating. It was just a mixture of all kind of races, creeds, colors, heights, weights. It don't matter. And we was all just vibing to music. And that goes back to what we said 4, 6, 20 episodes ago. Music is gonna bring us together. It's gonna bridge the gaps that no other industry can. So please use your powers. But Sunday service was amazing. I know it's on YouTube somewhere, so you could use that and look it up.
Perfect. Now let's talk about the Revolt Summit. Is it not a go? It's such a go, right?
It's a go.
Okay, awesome. Such a perfect opportunity to network, great vibes. Also, awesome people that were speaking. Issa Rae. Who'd you see?
I saw Jizzle. I saw James Fauntleroy. I saw Snoop Dogg. Who else did I see?
So a lot of great names, basically. Ice Cube, TD,
I didn't
Diddy.
see you.
You're gonna see? Are you going back after this?
No, I gave my bracelet away.
Well then.
Wait, it's still going?
Yeah, 3 days.
Okay, well you shouldn't have got your bracelet.
Gift.
You should have tapped in.
If it's gifted, you give it. You feel me? Give what you need.
That's what the message was about today. So,
what you need.
Okay, you on the right vibes.
I guarantee
you
you.
in it to win, friend. So look,
Hey, friend.
not only the speakers, the performances was awesome. If you couldn't make it, definitely make it next year. At the end of the day, perfect opportunity.
LA is where it's at, yo.
It is.
LA is
For
where it's
everybody that
at.
be talking mess, LA is so where it's at.
And
Don't play
to
with
the people that think LA is too hard, because you got more chance of going homeless than becoming a celebrity in this motherfucker. So I know a lot of motherfuckers is throwing the towel in. Y'all ready to give up?
Don't
I
give
want to encourage y'all, but I understand because it's hard out here. But LA is the place to be. Facts.
All right, this has been your segment of What It Do. Call in if you want to share your opinion. 323-293-3375.
Patriot gang, Laker gang, Clipper gang, because I fuck with Kawhi. That nigga look like Kobe.
Fuck, the Clippers lost to the Suns last
Because LeBron didn't play defense, but I yelled at him. Hey, I'm
That
here.
is
Laker
impossible,
fans, I'm
bro.
here. We changing the whole narrative in LA. The spirit is here, and we not gonna let y'all down. Again, every Sunday, 6 to 7.
Hey.
Y'all know me. Y'all know the love.
Hey,
friend.
And you
Y'all
also know me, LP. Check out the Lost Files.
You Beanie Man. I didn't even know that was an album. You dropped some shit and snuck that shit out.
I sent it to you,
No
damn it.
promotion.
I did promote it. What the fuck?
Ooh, what's up on my Instagram? My algorithms is off. I don't see none of y'all on my timeline. We're going to fix that today. All right, we'll be right back, y'all. Only Squad. The only hip hop show. The only hip hop
Only fucking hip hop squad. What the
only
hell?
Squad. I like that too, though. The only Squad. I like that. Hey, we'll be right back, y'all.
On a break.
Fremont District. Fuck that shit, nigga. Eat my heat, nigga. I ride for the song. I slide for the song. I die for the song. Probably die in the song. The song's called Home, nigga. I ride for the song. I slide for the song. I die for the song. Probably die in the song. The song's called Home, nigga. Gunshots, canary tape, cop cars, helicopters, the pearly gates. It's all its weight, niggas playing with Satan. Niggas getting slummed daily on this concrete pavement. But we still hanging bang, no. Floss the gold chains, though. Hanging at the corner store, better keep a thing, bro. Niggas, they'll wake you up. Bitches, they'll set you up. It's summertime, year round, the heat and they ain't letting up. Straight up. The fireworks keep going off. Everybody showing off. Hey, with nothing else to live for, man. Fuck it so we kill more. Word. Fuck it so we chill more. Fuck it so we deal more. Cocaine I won't sing if I hit the sub tank. Swear to God on the wide, open up the blood bank. Put the real pump on my lap at all times. If I ain't got that, then I'm rolling with my nine. Can't be slipping while sliding. They're tipping and riding with choppers and ooze, busting shots out the blue. Bang bang, shoot 'em up. Somebody come and scoop 'em up. Wrong place, wrong time. Goose was too loose, bruh. Somebody should've told 'em how to get off in the zone. Man, it's wicked out here in this place we call home. I ride for the song, I slide for the song, I die for the song. Straight up, probably die in the song. The song is called Home, nigga. I ride for the song, TK. I slide for the song, I die for the song. Nigga, probably die in the song. Hey, TK. The song is called Home. I wake up in the ass, I go to sleep in the ass. Ever since a little nigga, I've been rapping the ass. Where all my active YGs that be banging the ass, banging the ass, every day in the ass. Niggas cocaine slanging, niggas late night hanging. In the set it get dangerous, niggas trip we spreading. On the beat we ain't playing, candlelights where they hanging. When we come through swinging, you know straight West Main. You ain't safe by the station, the police can't save you. Not even God can save you. When I bust this Kayla, we hella active on the main line. Bitch, this ain't no song, talk about the shit we doing every day off in the zone. Straight up. I ride for the song, I slide for the song, I die for the song. Probably die in the song. The song is called Home, nigga. I ride for the song, I slide for the song, I die for the song. Boy, probably die in the song. The song is called Home. Walk up, snake niggas, real niggas, cut those rat niggas, fake niggas, cocaine, marijuana, dog food, Sherman water, make the wrong move in the zone and get slaughtered. 211s, homicide setups, chess moves, they ain't playing fair. Young S make the best moves, politics, paperwork, peer pressure, real shit. Gotta think fast out here, get peeled quick. One life to live, so you can't fuck around. No, for sure you gon' sink, you can't swim, you gon' drown. It goes down in the gutter. This place we call home, the ghetto, the slums, better known as the zone. I ride for the song, I slide for the song, I die for the song. Probably die in the song. The song is called Home, nigga.
DatPiff.com world premiere.
Yo, welcome back to the Only Hip Pops. What the fuck?
See?
Only Hip Hop. What the hell?
We supposed
Welcome
to be
back
saying
to the Only
spread,
Hip Hop
Jesus.
Show with the Only Hip Hop Squad. Now, let me
You
pause
need to
the
do
beat
that
for-
over.
Let me pause the beat for a minute.
Rest in peace.
You know, I'm a huge hip hop head, right? I'm a lyricist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Facts.
here's the thing.
Go off.
Sean, I don't know how much history you learned from hip hop and rap, but back in the 70s, man, like Kool Herc created hip hop actually from New York, man.
agree with that?
Just
I agree with that, yes.
yeah, so just hearing a lot of like rappers back in the day like Biz Markie to Big Daddy Kane to Rakim and the list goes on. Roxanne Shante, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to properly introduce to this gentleman. He's an author that is a historian that actually just created a book. Actually, we're going to go ahead and talk about it from Cold Chillin' Records that was founded by Tyrone and I forgot his first name.
Gotta call him.
Yeah.
Len Fitzgerald.
Philan Bertramberg, yeah. And and then the artists was there like Biz Markie, Kool G Rap, Roxanne Shante, and
The Jizza.
Jizza
Genius.
from Wu-Tang. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna probably introduce, without further ado, let's welcome Ben Merlis in the building.
Shout out to Ben.
Hey, shout out to Ben.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm gonna go ahead and
He
start
dropped
it
the
off.
instrumental back? Wow! You on your shit today, boy.
Hey, but check this out, man. I just wanted to go ahead and start it off, man. So, Ben, so how long you been a historian for hip hop?
Well,
Historian.
it's. I'd like to think that the minute I first heard hip hop, I was taking notes mentally, the way a lot of people are, and that would have been in the mid '80s when I was a small child in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Was that
So-
a good enough answer for you?
You want to know?
No,
like, did you like-
I'm
this
just
is my
want to hear
first
what you
book.
got to say. Go ahead.
Well, this is my
I
first.
got hella questions, so I'm a little selfish. Hold that
is the
shit up. Hold that shit up. Hold that shit up, because we about to get rude and disrespectful in this motherfucker. All right, Ben? You ready? I know we went to church.
about that.
Whoa,
Shout
whoa,
out to church.
whoa, whoa,
Go
whoa.
ahead,
I
go
already
ahead.
told you, I already
Go ahead.
told you what this man does and what he is.
So
and
he
who
got to
he's
tailor
about.
his answer. I'm not tailoring my question. I'm rude, Ben.
Yes.
Who the fuck are
That's
you,
what
bro?
I said.
Tell me.
I just
Can I
said
get
he-
it from him? Can I get some quotes? Can I get some clip bites? What's up, Ben? Talk to me.
I'm a music publicist.
Okay.
And I am also a music writer. And
Yes.
this is the first book I've ever written.
Okay.
Right
Awesome.
here in my hand. It's called Going Off, the story of the Juice Crew and Cold Chillin' Records. It comes out November 5th
Yeah.
on BMG Books.
Hey.
And you can buy this.
Oh, yeah.
You can pre-order this now on Amazon. And I have events to plug, but we can get to that later.
course.
Anyway,
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's what I was
why.
going to ask you. You said
Yeah.
BMG. Is
Yeah.
that? But it's everywhere. It's distributed everywhere.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's got you. Okay, so Ben is here. See, you didn't even say music
Ben
writer.
was
You know what I
ready.
mean?
Yeah.
Let
Music
him,
writer,
let him get that eloquence off. You feel me?
That's
I
right.
mean,
just fucking
I
with
was
you,
going
Kenny,
to let
man.
him
Don't
talk
worry
about
about it.
himself. I mean,
got you.
this is just what I know, what I research. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for coming, man. And
Thanks for having me.
I envy you 100% for having an author, being an author. You know, adding that to your resume. You know,
Well, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you about, before we get into your journey with hip hop, for the nerds out there, I want to get into the process of the book. What happened? What day was it where you were like, hey, I need to do this? And what day did you start doing it?
Okay. Would go back to the summer of 2017.
Okay.
I met someone. I was thinking about the Juice Crew and Cold Chillin' Records a lot, and how someone should make a documentary about them. And then I thought to myself, that seems like a very, very tall mountain to climb.
Right.
Maybe a shorter mountain to climb would be writing a book about it. And then I bumped into someone at a party who works for BMG, who said, I'm starting a series of books. Each book is about a different record label. And I said, do you have any hip-hop record labels queued up for this series? The series is called RPM. This is the third book of that series.
Let me check that out.
Yeah.
Let me hold up.
And he said no, and I said,
Yeah, let me see too.
I know the record label it should be about, Cold Chillin'. There's never been a book about Cold Chillin' before. And it's a
Never.
Very important.
And it's rarely mentioned, dude.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a very important
Look at
record
this
label.
fucking cover, man.
And so I ended up volunteering myself to be the guy that to write that book. And then by October of 2017, I had a book deal, and I started interviewing people at the end of that month. So probably exactly 2 years ago today, I started interviewing people, and I got about 36 people that I interviewed between the recording artists themselves, DJs, producers, rappers, people who worked at the label, people who own the label, people who worked at Warner Brothers Records, who was the distributor of Cold Chillin', people who worked at and owned other record labels at the time, like Tommy Boy and Tough City.
Niggas don't know about that.
Yeah. So
And what's sad is I loved hip hop for a long time, but I really and literally, I don't even know if that's the right way to use literally, but I had to go back to school to get studied on that. So I had to sit there and do assignments to really give a fuck about the journey that was trailblazed, way before we had anything to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank you for even having enough love in your heart to dig enough to come out with a book,
Well, thanks. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. And it is a labor of love, certainly. I mean,
it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
history,
labor.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
it shows that you had a lot of love because the cover is nice.
Yeah.
The colors, the texture, you feel me? And I feel like it looks like it'll be a great read. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
I want to
Appreciate
be
it.
real with you, Ben, because let me be real. Again, I
So
told
guys,
you
this is the cover.
I envy you, right?
There
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
nice. Look at that.
That shit is beautiful.
And the
Yes.
reason it's blue and pink is because Cold Chillin' Records, their label sleeves, 12-inch record sleeves, were blue and pink. So we kept in theme
That's
with the
classic.
That
label.
picture
Yeah.
should be
I
on a
don't think
t-shirt.
anybody did that.
Are you
did
the
that
first
book.
edition of the RPM series, or what
Yeah,
book is this?
is number 3 in the RPM series,
Nice.
but it's the first.
That's dope.
It's the first hip hop book. Yeah.
Okay.
What are
in-
the other
in a
two?
series.
What are the previous two? Do they even matter right now?
What was that?
Do they even matter right now, or are we just...
Well, I mean,
Okay, yeah, just a little bit. What are the other two?
Sub Pop and Specialty. Oh no, Sub Pop and the second one
Yeah, they don't
was Specialty's number 4. It comes out the same day as this one. Excello Records. Oh no, a blues label from the 50s and 60s was
I'll take that.
Excello.
That's pretty
And
dope.
Sub Pop was the label
Yeah, I'll
Nirvana
check
was
that
on originally. So those were the first 2 of the series.
Let me get back to the real rude shit, all right? Because
You can't control
again,
yourself.
I'm gonna say myself right. Facts, facts. I envy you 100%. I envy every author in the world, but niggas don't read, And I say that to ask you.
Why did you do that? Did you see how the deep breath he took?
It's real shit, and it's unfortunate. That's why he did that, because it's unfortunate. But with that said, I ask you, who's your audience?
Well, even if you don't read,
Okay,
I want you to know
sell it.
there's a 16-page
Look, get 'em.
color
Come
photo
on, come
spread
on.
You Instagram
in the middle of the book.
Listen.
So you don't have to know how to read, and you can still enjoy these
Can they
photographs
double-
of Bismarck
can they
E,
scroll?
MBDK, and MC Shan.
Can
and all
they
these
scroll? Turn the page. They never seen the page turn. Turn the page for him, Ben.
And speaking of MC
So-
Shan,
Stop
he's actually a
it.
part of
And there's
he's actually
Jizza.
part of the
out,
label
G.
as well. But yeah, back to that, man. Like for MC Shan and Boogie Down Productions, the beef around that time, man. What do you take on that?
Well, it was one of the first significant beefs in hip hop, and it kind of set the precedent for lots of that kind of thing to come for years to come. And it's one of the you still see it every day today. I mean, Drake has diss tracks against other rappers. It's just a part of the hip hop landscape now, and there was a time when it really wasn't.
Jesus is King is out. So first off, I want to say, Drake, we forgive you for all your pettiness. Go ahead. I want to ask you. I should have asked you. This should have been the first question before you got on the pulpit. Because right now I'm feeling the energy. Are you a Kanye West fan?
No, I'm not.
You don't like Kanye
Come
West? or
on,
you
Not
John.
a Kanye West
Not
fan.
everybody's a Kanye West fan. I'm not even
Did you
a
see the
fan.
lighter
But I'm a
drop
fan
for
of his
dramatics?
music.
That's going to be a clip. Why not?
He supports Donald Trump.
Okay.
That
don't like
bothers
Donald
me.
Trump.
That bothers
He
me.
loves Donald Trump.
That's
Damn.
why nobody likes Kanye.
Yeah,
All right.
it's tough. It's hard to get past that. Yeah.
Right now, Ben, I'm gonna call you Ben Mur. Can I call you Ben Mur?
You can call me that. Yeah, sure. Ben Murlis, Ben Mur. No one's ever called me that before.
Yeah, Ben Mur. I like Ben Mur. Ben Mur.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Ben Mur. Top 5, fresh off mine, right now. Rappers, dead or alive. Let's go.
Number 1, Big Daddy Kane, who was on Cold Chillin' and I interviewed. He was actually the first rapper I interviewed for the book. Number 2, Rakim, who has a book of his own out right now. I went to his book signing at Book Soup a few weeks ago, and I met him.
Right?
Number 3, Kool G Rap, also was a recording artist for Cold Chillin', also in the Juice Crew, and I interviewed him as well for the book. Number 4, LL Cool J.
Wow. Taking that.
Yeah.
Pause. Taking
and you know,
that.
a lot of people think of him as an actor now, or a host of a lip sync battle show, and all these things.
Oh, no.
You know,
He's
generations
still rap,
of people.
for you, baby.
He still
But-
got bars.
Yeah. Go back to those early records.
Don't
I
say
don't know
still.
about still.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. Listen.
Still?
You know what I mean?
No, I heard this shit now. But
Wrap it up.
Number 5,
Pause.
the DOC. You know him?
Okay.
No one can do it better. Yeah.
Erica, shout out to
never-
Erica. Erica, hey, we love you. We all in this Badu thing together. Shout out to DLC,
right.
man. Absolutely. I'm not mad
I'm
at
glad
your
he got
top
his
5.
voice back though.
Shout out to DLC with
Yeah,
the
that was pretty tragic. He lost his voice after recording the first album. So,
All right.
Oh, wow.
but he's a lyricist. He wrote a lot of lyrics, I believe, for Dr. Dre and other death row recording artists in the 90s. But that first album, where he still has his voice, is incredible. And I actually work by the statue of Jesus where the record cover photo is taken. It says King of Kings, Lord of Lords on it.
You
And
know
I
your
drive by that
shit.
every day.
You know your shit.
And I want to get, and I'm like, one of these days I'm going to stop and get my, I took a selfie like years ago on a horrible, flip phone, but I got to
Kanye
do it
said no more
again.
selfies.
I got to do a proper selfie in front of that statue.
No more selfies.
Replicating the record. Okay, I'll get someone else to take
Yes.
it.
No more selfies.
There you go.
Put the gram away, man. It's the perfect time to take a break. Listen, I'm gonna over this break right now. I'm gonna like whisper in Ben Mur's ear, pause, and try and get him to listen to this album. But I know y'all outside have or y'all should, because it's just a great piece of the generation. It's a great piece of time. Forget how great the music is because I'm biased. Lyrics, forget all that. But make sure you experience this. Don't freaking what is it called? Mistreat yourself. What is it called? Don't beat yourself. Treat yourself. Yeah,
Don't
please.
cheat yourself.
Hip hop is giving LL Cool J another job. It's giving Nick Cannon jobs. It's
Right.
putting people in movies. It's giving us shit to talk about. It's giving books, putting books on the shelves.
Right.
We are changing the world, and hip hop is starting it all. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in. We coming right the fuck back. Ben Mur.
Peace.
Gang. I don't know about you, but I was raised. Yes, sir. Gang bang shit. Gang bang shit. Throw your gang up. Gang bang. Throw your gang up.
Jose Hendrix.
Look, I'm coming through banging. Ben Davis hanging way down to my knees. Red shirt and Chuck T's. Cloth belt with the B on the buckle. I'm from the streets, I keep a heating on the B. I buck you real quick. Kill shit when it's time to kill. Don't take precaution, ain't no flossing, man. This shit is real. Niggas are squeal, so I keep my sucker duckers on. Remain strong, parlay and blow weed all day long. Sip Hennessy with Baby Rock. Get drunk and spray block. Let us on the water. Stay locked. Man, I get sick with it. 4/5 extended clip with it. Disrespected click and get hit with it. 4 ball got my back, fool. And Lil Rat got the gap, fool. TK got a gap, too. But we ain't shit, man. We just hanging this shit. Pushing dope, gang banging this shit. Writing on the walls. Hanging with the homies. Put that on the hood. Fuck who don't know me. Red, rag, and blue. Nigga, we keep it true. I don't know about you. I was raised gang banging shit. Gang banging shit. Just that gang banging shit. Gang banging. Gang banging. Gang banging. Gang banging. Gang banging. Gang banging. KT Badass EKD No Hawk 4 SD Ice B on the beat. I done been through so much, still keep it cherry. Never been scary. Put my gang on the map. Keep it solid, never tell. It's snakes in the grass. You got to be aware if you known to act the ass. We signed up for this living. Boston B hats, red chucks, red flags. Chunk your B up and leave them mad. My niggas hurt niggas' feelings empty out the clip. My West Main 70s always out here set tripping. from the 70s to the 80s, my homies had no business. In the hood, my niggas know you leave no witness. My niggas grimy as fuck, we was known to get it. On the block, serving dope, nigga getting chippers. Old heads on the block taught me how to get it, but I never let them send me on no phony mission.
Writing on the walls, hanging with the homies. Put that on the hood, fuck who don't know me. Red, rag, or blue, nigga, we keep it true. I don't know about you, but I was raised on the gangbanging shit. Gangbanging shit, just that gangbanging shit. Gangbanging, 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 gangbanging.
Shake the dice and I let him roll. 10 or 4 bet. Came out the back door with Lil Joe. Next time he sold, got the 4-4. And Lil Migs back into a trick, swinging off the photo. And now we kinda taking photos. Chuck it up 9 times for the hood. Fuck the po-po, man, I'm the shit. T-Water Rider in this bitch. You ain't heard fly bird, nigga, free my district. Bench for laugh rider. Bonafide slider. I put your ass to sleep with no grief, then keep sliding. You know how we do it, man, we mad just for fun. Jump up off the corner, chase his ass down with the drum. Got the fresh tattoos, combat boots, all black with the red 49ers half full. Bang the hood to the fullest, if they ever stay flaming. Yeah, bosses in this bitch started out gang banging.
Writing on the walls, hanging with the homies. Put that on the hood, fuck who don't know me. Red, rag, or blue, nigga, we keep it true. I don't know about you, but I was raised on the gangbanging shit. Gangbanging shit, just that gangbanging shit. Gangbanging, 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 gangbanging. Writing on the walls, hanging with the homies. Put that on the hood, fuck who don't know me. Red, rag, or blue, nigga, we keep it true. I don't know about you, but I was raised on the gangbanging shit. Gangbanging shit, just that gangbanging shit. Gangbanging, 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 gangbanging.
I was gonna stop and
pulpit.
question you
All right.
before.
It's hot on the pulpit.
But I was
Yo,
like,
yo,
nah,
yo,
let me
welcome
stop.
back to the Only Hip Hop Show with the Only Hip Hop Squad.
I just want to go on record and say, everybody, thank you for tuning in to
Yes,
the Only
thank
Hip Hop Show. every Sunday, 6 to 7, Facebook Live, YouTube. Before I even go further, shout out to Morris Media, man.
Shout out
because
to Morris Media.
I don't know what is wrong with POTUS because we are crazy, you know, and we're rowdy and we're rude and we have crazy people on the pulpit, you know, we have fun and I can't thank her enough.
Shout out to
so
OG
shout out to
POTUS for
OG
Morris Media. And
POTUS.
shout out to Sheena Lester for plugging us up with this guest right here. You know what I'm saying? With this
Long
history.
care, don't care.
You know what I mean?
Hey, we here, Ben Murr. We got the love. Hey, y'all.
What is it, friend?
Hey, I need to get into it because I have been dissatisfied with hip hop for a long time.
So am I.
And I get stones thrown at me and niggas top 5 when they come here be like, what the hell are you talking
Like, what do
about?
they say?
Little baby.
Little Baby. What else have we heard? It's not even
Megan
worth
Stallion.
repeating or remembering.
Remembering.
But it is on our timeline, so please go check our timeline. J. Cole. We've heard J. Cole. That
You
upsets
don't like
me.
J. Cole?
Kendrick. And shout out before we go further, please go look at our YouTube because I did ask Glasses Malone about his feelings about people saying Kendrick in the top 5, and that is definitely an interesting clip.
He gave a great
You know,
answer.
so your top 5 was up there, but again, going with that, we've had an agreement on hip hop is taking a back step. Not the ladies, shout out the ladies, they doing this shit, but lyrically. Message wise, it's kind of taking a step back. So I'm just throwing that on the table, and I would love to, starting with you, with your opinion on it, and then let's pass it to Ben Murr.
Okay. What's the exact question? Because I could go on and on.
I just want to hear your take on hip hop taking its step back. Do you agree with that, or you don't agree with that compared to these days?
No, I'm
Yeah.
definitely, that's out. I'm over it
Yeah.
because, like you said, hip hop has opened so many doors for us, and it's so important. And like I've heard artists say they learned about God from hip hop, and just all these great people that they may have not have ever read about. You know,
Facts.
because what did you say?
Niggas don't read. I'm gonna get a shirt that say that.
You know, so the fact that now hip hop is just so, it's a joke now.
It's like
it's a joke.
It's like this, and I totally agree. And I'm really disappointed in hip hop right now, especially the way it's going and how radios are playing the same music that with no substance. You know, hip hop was really based on the elements that we actually grew up on:
Facts.
DJing, b-boying,
Graffiti.
What was the
MCing.
But the last thing that I'm disappointed of, and the lack of one element that everybody's lacking of, is knowledge. I'm way disappointed.
Mr. Diddy, right up. I can't believe you said that, dog. I'm so mad at you for that.
Okay.
Hey, listen. I need to hear your take. You had to sit down with some of the legends in our game.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? Do you think hip hop took a step back lyrically?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even within the last 5 years, you have the, and of course, anyone watching this, don't my opinion doesn't matter. Like, who cares what I think,
we put the disclaimer in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, we put
listen to what you want to listen to.
Yeah.
Who cares what I think? But the mumble rap thing, it's like there's not much lyricism
really a
in
thing.
a lot of that.
Yeah.
So you don't have a lot of the people I wrote about kind of pushed the envelope as far as lyricism goes, and it kind of maybe reached an apex. I wouldn't put a date on it, but yeah, it definitely has
I'm with you.
fallen off in the past several years. But having lots of words in every verse doesn't necessarily make a song good. So
Right.
It does not.
Yeah, so-
It does not.
It'd be a whole bunch of BS.
yeah.
A lot of the time. What do you think?
I 100% think I've been disappointed for a long time. I don't know how we get back to it, but I'm going to go with what LaRon said. Like, if we pick up the books, that would expand our vocabulary,
which is knowledge.
and maybe we can
Yeah, you
get better
can
words in
change.
our raps,
Yes.
or like Ye in the album. Sorry to say Ye, but he said undocumented in the new album. I never heard that, but I would never hear that from.
Right.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
can you say that you don't like any new artists right now?
No, I definitely have guilty pleasures, and that was my next question. I like Young Thug. I like.
Are you serious,
I
bro?
love
I
Young
love
Thug.
Lil Yachty. It's a
Are
lot
y'all
of them.
serious?
Who you like? Guilty pleasure?
Are y'all serious
Who do you
right
like?
now?
Pleasure?
Guilty pleasure.
What show is this?
Lil Nas X.
I'll take Lil Nas X.
But you know what? I listen to him, and I don't think this is hip hop. I don't
That
put him
album
in the
is
same
good,
category as Cool G Rap or somebody.
No.
But I like some of the songs, so whatever.
I like
My
them
guilty
too.
pleasure is 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
I like
Whoa.
6ix9ine
6ix9ine.
too, though.
Yeah, pause. You're right.
Whoa.
Pause. You're right.
Whoa.
You're right.
Whoa, we
The
don't do no
music
snitches
is
around
cool
here.
though. The music is cool,
Yeah, it's fire.
and that's probably why
Yeah, I
he's
heard
getting
it, but
another
it's
record
like-
deal. Because people, that's how people think. Like
he
we
out?
don't care. I don't know if he's out, but are you familiar with the whole 6ix9ine story?
A little bit. My friend Sean Sotero writes for Complex, and he actually sat in on the courtroom like every single day and did courtroom updates for Complex.com. And so I read
so
his
cool.
things, and he has crazy stories about that. But I haven't been paying very close attention to it because I don't listen to this guy's music. A lot of people are in
right.
are in jail for lots of things. So I guess I'd pay closer attention if
Tear them prisons
if I
down.
was a fan of his in the first place or something.
What's
I'm
your favorite?
sorry, but I listen to Pusha T.
Yeah.
I listen to
Child Push.
I listen to Pusha T, man. That's mainly the rappers that I listen to right now because I don't listen to any other rappers, you know what I mean?
I think it's cool that you got a friend that work at Complex. Like
Writers.
we all need to go on a little lunch or something.
No.
Ben, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book, The People's History of the United States of America by Howard Zinn. It's about this thick, and it's about the history of the United States.
Got it.
I don't know if it's my favorite book, but it's an important book
But that's
that
the
people
first
should
one
read.
that popped in mind.
That's
so.
the first one that popped in my
Yeah,
mind.
it's defined. I trust you.
Wait, before we answer that question, what is everybody's favorite books? Because my favorite book is Letters to a Young Brother by Hill Harper, Soldier X by, I don't know what to say his name wrong, but his last name is Dorferson. And my favorite book is also The Outsiders. That's fire. And The Great Gatsby. And what was that
I saw
other
the movie
book?
Great Gatsby.
I forgot the other book. It's about a church and hypocrites. I forgot what it's called, but it's actually a movie back in the day. What they made a movie off a book, but I forgot what it's called.
Eve's
It
Bayou.
just slipped out of my tongue. Like,
You best.
But yeah, so
I have my favorite book about hip hop is called The Big Payback The History of the Business of Hip Hop, and it's by a guy named Dan Charnas. And it's also a book that's about that thick. It's about as thick as People's
Thicker the
History of the United
better.
States. And this book, The Big Payback, is so interesting because he interviewed all the people who own the record labels, a lot of the same people I interviewed, and he got this, expansive history from the very beginning of hip hop to modern times. And I actually talked to him on the phone before I wrote this book, just saying, what should I know? Give me some pointers or whatever. Yeah. And he was a nice guy, and it's like I got to give him a copy of this, see what he thinks of this. But his book is just. It's about 6 times as thick as my book and whatever.
I was
it's
going
really
to
good.
ask you, what was your process for writing this book? Like, how did you start?
So the first thing I did was I tried to get as many people on the phone as possible, as quickly as possible, and interview them. And then I had to transcribe the interviews. And I wanted to get someone to do that for me. And I tried getting transcription software, which does not work at all. Because when people talk, they go and the software goes So you have to take all that out.
Right.
So it takes for every hour of audio I had from interviews, it took 3 hours to transcribe. So it took months. And then finally, when I get all this stuff transcribed, I have to piece together the story so that, all these pieces of interviews kind of line up to tell the story I want to tell. So I had an outline, and then I broke out quotes from people by topic and then put them into separate files. It was painstaking. I mean, it's not easy. And then I had to actually write the book. So it took 6 months to interview everyone and transcribe the interviews, and another 6 months to write the book, and then another maybe month to edit after that. So it took, over a year, and then it took 2 years for it to actually come out from start to finish. So not easy.
Jealous. I'm
so
You're
fucking
jealous.
man.
You're jealous of a guy sitting at home going, transcribe.
Yeah, man. If you only knew, I'll tell you after.
Okay.
off camera.
You know
Right.
what? Let me ask
so
this real
jealous,
quick.
bro.
Let me ask this real quick. So, are we gonna come out? Or is it? You guys are coming out with the documentary for Cold Chillin' Records?
Oh, I have no idea. I
That would
don't.
be
I don't
nice.
know. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be.
that would
nice.
be cool.
I'm about to ask you, you're about to drop an album. You said it comes out November 5th?
Yes, that's
5th?
right.
All right.
Nice.
So, what do you want people to take away?
Well, I want people to attend the book signing, which is actually November 1st, this Friday, at Artform Studio in Highland Park. And that's going to be with me, Cut Chemist, Peanut Butter Wolf, and Marley Marl. So
I be needing places to. Hey,
at 7:30 p.m.
follow me on
Artform
the
Studio.
gram. You follow back?
Huh?
You follow back?
Follow back on Instagram?
On Instagram?
Yeah.
All right, for sure. I'm about to follow you right now because I'm on a mission to
know,
get
that's
3,000 followers by the end of the year. It's on my goal. So listen, here's the thing. I need to ask you about social. We ask all the artists. She is mastering the love over there. She has mastered this social networking thing. And she's going with it, and it's fire. So I want to ask you about social. How do you feel as an author? Is that a game you have to play? You don't have to play it? What's up?
I would say have to.
Yeah.
I started the Instagram. I got on Instagram just to promote the book in late 2017.
Okay.
I didn't want to be on Instagram. I was on Facebook, but just as myself.
Right.
And
You
apparently,
look like a Facebooker.
but apparently, what happens is if you have a Facebook page for a company or whatever, or like this book, the way the algorithm works in Facebook,
weird.
almost no one. You have to pay to play. Almost no one sees it. But with
Yeah.
Instagram,
Pay to play.
with Instagram, I'm sure it's going to end up that way. But right now, it's not.
It's kind of getting that way.
Yeah, so I just built an Instagram following early on and tried to connect with people through Instagram as well. And I did, actually. Peanut Butter Wolf, who wrote the forward to this book, became a fan. He was one of the first people to follow me on Instagram. And he would always comment.
follow you right
And this guy's like a famous DJ producer, record label owner. We own Stone's Throw Records. So it was really cool to see him, supporting that way.
I'm following
So-
you right now, bro.
Yeah.
No excuses.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you too.
No
All right,
excuses.
it's at Cold Chillin' Book.
Hey.
Right.
Yeah, I
Hear that?
just followed
There
you.
you go.
Yeah.
But the
we
whole
come
point,
with- we a squad.
There
We
it is.
come with everybody. Look,
course.
boom.
Y'all make sure y'all follow, support.
All right, so the book signing, you said is where?
the book signing is at Artform Studio. Am I plugged in? Oh, maybe it's my headphones. Right when you did that, okay,
Yeah,
there it
it
goes.
changed the game.
Yeah. Art Form Studio in Highland Park, here in Los Angeles.
I know where Highland Park is.
This Friday, November 1st, 7:30 p.m.
Nice.
It's going to be a discussion and book signing with myself, Cut Chemist. He was in Jurassic 5.
I'll be there, bro.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, and
I did
Peanut Butter
research on
Wolf,
that too.
and we're flying Marley Marl out from New York.
You posted it already? You posted the flyer?
Yeah, there's a flyer in there somewhere.
Got it, I see it.
Yeah, and then on the 14th of November, I'm going to be in Brooklyn
Shout out Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brooklyn. I
at
see that.
Powerhouse Arena, doing the same thing with Master Ace, who was a recording artist for Cold Chillin' Records and a member of the Juice Crew. And he is from Brooklyn, so that's pretty cool.
When we pull up, don't act like you don't know us.
Right,
all right?
'cause we gonna
Don't
be
give
like,
us that.
"Man."
All right. So you feel me? We
Hey,
need pictures and selfies. No selfies. We need pictures and all that. So last question before we take a break. It's kind of weird, but vocabulary. Just personally, nothing to do with the book, nothing to do with hip hop, but just vocabulary. I know we have a lack of knowledge. I know LP spoke to that, but often, and it's just my opinion, I feel like there's a lack of vocabulary, and people are using very minimal words to express themselves. And not only is it frustrating them because they're not properly expressing themselves. Sorry to repeat that, but the audience isn't understanding them.
So we're just talking about rap?
No, we're talking about no
talk.
hip hop, no rap. We're talking about strictly vocabulary.
Just people talking
Just
every day.
people
People
communicating,
talking. Okay.
conversing on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Maybe with an element of anger to it, just to add, some drama. But I want to hear your take on the vocabulary we use every day to express ourselves. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, I'm a college graduate, but every single day I look up the meaning, the definition of words, just as part of my daily
have to,
process.
yeah.
Anytime someone uses a word or writes or I read a word that, even if it's a word I see all the time, and I'd be embarrassed to even tell anybody I don't know exactly what that means, I will look it up, and it takes 1 second to do.
Right.
On the internet. You don't even have to literally
Get a dictionary
Google
or-
will give you the definition without you even having to click on a link now.
Right.
So I just do that so I'm building my vocabulary every day. I'm 41 years old, so I guess that's maybe a good habit to have.
I asked that because a stat was brought to me and they asked me to share it with the audience. But the people of poverty, race, of course, does not matter. But they said it's a 32 million word / phrase gap between the people of poverty and the people of money. So that's something that I've focused on because I'm an avid reader. Literature is something I love to do in my free time.
Right.
So that's built my vocabulary over time.
Right.
And I see it's not the most common thing. And people are more willing to misunderstand than they are to understand. So that's why I just wanted to ask you as an author. I have so many questions for you. Hopefully I can get personal with you, pause with the DM or whatever, however we stay in contact. But I would love to stay in contact with you, and if I have any questions, the floor is yours.
All right, I appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, you really pretty much summed up everything for me. This was a great conversation. I do want you to ultimately give your information again just one more time.
Yeah. Okay.
Really, the Instagram?
At Cold Chillin' Book. Because this is a book about cold chillin'. The book itself is called Going Off, but I came up with the Instagram before I had the title for the book. So it's at Cold Chillin' Book.
Okay. Look
So-
at that word.
You know what, Ben? Let me ask you this question real quick. Who is your favorite artist from Cold Chillin' Records, and what favorite album?
That's deep.
Man, I don't know. I think I'd have to say, if you were to only listen to one to get a good overview of the label, you would listen to In Control Volume 1 by Marley Marl. Marley Marl was the original producer for Cold Chillin' Records. And so this is really a compilation that has almost everybody who was on the label on this one album. So you have Biz Markie doing a duet with Heavy D, who was not on the label. But then you also have Master Ace, you have Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Craig G, who technically wasn't on the label, but he was in the Juice Crew. It's complicated. I talk about it in the book. And Roxanne Shante and MC Shan. And so that would give you a good overview of what Cold Chillin' was like in 1988 is when that record came out. Basically, that first push for the label. And then, I don't know. The first album by everyone on the label is a good go-to. So the first album by Biz Markie is called Going Off, which is what the book is named after. That's a really good one to start with.
That's
the
fire.
first Big Daddy Kane album is Long Live the Kane. That's the one where he's sitting on the throne like a Roman god while
Effective
women
name
feed him
titles.
grapes and apples.
Shout out to women.
Yeah.
No. Women, stay away from fruit, okay? Please.
And then Master Ace, Take a Look Around, where is a really good one too. And I don't know, I could just go on and on, but there are a lot of good records on Cold Chillin'.
There's a lot of good records on Kanye's album too. Are you listening?
Come on, Sean.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. No, I haven't listened to it
We're
yet.
not going there. Before you go though, this is a little bit off subject from hip hop. You gotta explain to us this picture with the dog. Who's the dog?
Oh yeah, that's funny.
What's the name?
So what happened was Fiona Bloom, who's the publicist for the book, said we need press photos of you, and so I went into my front yard and had my girlfriend take one photo of me, just me, and one photo of me holding my dog Droopy, who you see there, and then I said you can give both photos and they can use whichever one they want, and the Droopy one ended up sticking. So that's Droopy, our dog, and then we have another dog named Mama Bear who doesn't like being held, so I didn't
Okay.
hold her.
We love animals. Here on the Hip Hop
I love
Show.
dogs.
Yeah.
It's so goofy, it's funny, whatever.
Shout out to dogs, friends, family, everybody that's tuning in, man.
Yes.
You know Ben Murr, you know the love,
Yes,
you know
we
me,
are.
you know we here every Sunday. Tune in, please tell somebody,
Yes.
like, comment, share, subscribe,
All that.
all that buzz shit. Just interact with us, man, and we good people and we love y'all. What up, LP?
Yeah, man, it was a great interview, man. Great energy, and this was really history. It's not even just history; it's just great energy, man. But I appreciate Ben Merlis to stopping by to the show and just tell us about this book, man. I'm gonna show this book one more time, man. This is
There it
history.
is.
You know what I mean? Since we the only hip hop show since I created the name, you know what I mean? But this is history. If you don't know anything about this, kill yourself. No, not seriously. Kill yourself, but literally.
No, buy the book and then read the book, and,
Right.
then you will know about it, and then you
of
won't have to kill yourself.
You will lose yourself.
And
You'll lose yourself.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Good catch.
Yeah, so
Thanks for having me.
oh yeah. I was gonna actually say that. You know what I mean? Appreciate you coming through. You know what I mean? Love to have you again, man. If you have another book coming out.
Yeah.
Are you working on another books or?
No, I'm not, but I have a few in mind, so hopefully I'll get one of those going.
Yeah, most definitely. So there you have it. It's the only hip hop show with the only hip hop squad with Ben Merlis. So shout out to Tyson Crookmine. He couldn't make it tonight. He had a car flash. He had to switch cars and everything. So we're gonna get him back in to the show. But it was a good thing that we played all his songs because you never know who might show up to the show. You know what I'm saying? But stay tuned for next week, and we out of here.